All right. So this computer was in here a couple weeks ago, and I had to, the video card died on this. It had a 3060 in it. Was it a 3060? No, this is a 1660. Yeah, it had a 1660 in it. This one. This is a pre-built. This is an MSI computer. So, I replaced the video card in this. When we were replacing it, I noticed that this fan was making an awful lot of noise. So, I told him about it, and now we're going to swap it. All right. The most complicated part about this is going to be figuring out where all these wires go, because this isn't a standard style like CPU cooler that just has a single cable going to the fan header. It actually has multiple cables coming into it. So I need to figure out where we're going here. Well, it looks like it just goes to these two headers, so we might be fine. Let's find out here. Yeah, look at that. We're actually fine. CPU RGB. Yeah, I mean, you can't hear it now. Yeah, you can't. It's got a little bit of a grind to it, and it's a little bit shaky. So I'm gonna replace this with this guy. Just got to make sure I get the right bracket on there. Problem is, I don't know where the original box for this thing is. There it is. All right. Goodbye MSI cooler. Hello Noctua cooler. Alright, we need the stuff for the LGA. Right, so we're going to need that. This is a 1200 LGA 1211, right? 1200. We might need different brackets. We still have that. Let's see what all we need here. Right, quickly. So it is this back plate. And yeah. It is these guys. So that's, make sure we got everything out of there. Alright, so inside here, when you're looking at this, there's two different positions that the legs can go in for this cooler. There is the inside position, which is like that, and then there is the outside position, which is like that. So it doesn't look like much difference, but it moves it just enough so that depending on what motherboard version you have, what socket you have, it adjusts to the socket you have. So right now we're doing the 1200, so the LGA 1200 and the LGA 1151 series. And then the outside holes are for the LGA 1700, which I don't know in what world you could use this with an LGA 1700, honestly. Slot it on. Sure it's clicked into place. We're gonna need a different, so we need to remove this fan. Then we're going to remove the feet, because these are the AM4 brackets. Take this bracket off of the back. It should just pull out. And then this guy's going to go in. There's really only one way that this guy can go in here. You just need to make sure that when you put this stuff in here, the screws that are on the bottom here, so that screw and these two screws, line up with the screw holes on this. And that's in there. Set this off to the side. And then come to the front. That goes on. That goes on. That goes on. And then again, on these brackets, there are 3 little numbers you can see printed there. Come on, focus on the right thing. Thank you. So you can see there's 3 numbers printed on there, 1, 2, and 3. But you got to make sure they are in the same hole when they get to when you put them on the board. So in this case, they both need to be in 1. Now that's in there, and I'm using the wrong standoffs. I need to use the blacks, not the blues, so I'm gonna have to take that one off, which is fine. So then you gotta take off what I just did, which again is fine. And then same thing. Make sure we are on 1. On both sides. There you go. Get these guys nice and tight. And then the main reason we have two different standoffs is they are physically 2 different heights. which you can kind of see when I put them next to each other. So the LGA 1700 socket is a slightly shallower socket. So when it's on there, it doesn't need to have that same height to achieve the same clamping force. Whereas these older sockets, they had to have a little bit higher vertical position for the clamping force, so that it would make adequate contact with the CPU so that it would stay cooler. And again, we line up hole one. Hole one, you got to make sure this thing is not askew. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Gotta use a stronger magnet. All right, now we're going to, so this is the last, that's the last thing we need to do. The next part is going to be putting that on there, getting it lined up, and then we'll put the fan on there. But we need to get old thermal paste off. This is not bad. It's an i5 10700K or 10400K, excuse me. And for anyone asking, like, did this get canceled? I think this might have got canceled. That is isopropyl alcohol that I keep spraying on stuff. Awesome. Put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little dots. 1 dot for each CPU core this thing has. Well, hopefully you get it up and running. And then these screws, like the bottom screws, you got to make sure they're tightened down all the way, and you can basically lift the whole computer with the CPU cooler. This goes into the CPU fan header. And then we have the little spring clips that go along the side. Sure that's out the way. Move, clip, get out the way. Anyways. One. So that's under there. All right, and we're good to go. Now let's give it a turn on and see how she do. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance. And yeah, if you want to learn more about my services, check out Bradenton PC Repair.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.